Sir, goals, we need a goal, objective.
Hello, Kavita, can you tell?
Sir, formulation of operational definition of the
Correct.
abstract.
Yeah, so first one is the operational definition of the construct. Not the abstract, construct.
Sorry, sir.
Construct. For example, I want to develop a scale for measuring depression. Okay. So initially, what we have to do? Initially, we have to study the literature about depression. And after that, we will explore several behavioral patterns of the depressive behavior. And we have to operationally define the depression as well as the depressive behavior. Why we will study the depressive behavior? Can you tell me? Because the questionnaire includes the items and each item is the representative of the
Depressive behavior.
Okay. Now, if I tell you, please you write down 5 items that measures depressive behavior. Then you write 5 items. You will get 2 minutes time. Okay, Shiv Kumar, please you write down. Kavita, you also write down.
Done, sir.
Okay, done.
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay, please write in the chat box.
Sir, can I read out, sir? Is it okay that?
Okay, you can read.
Sir, the first is the sudden changes in behavior. Like apart from routine, there is sudden changes of behavior. Not able to sleep properly. Poor social interaction. Not interest in day-to-day activity. Anxiety and worry. And frustration.
Okay, now they are some of the themes. Okay, and these themes are common in case of the anxiety person also. But my question is, it should be related to the depression. I do not find anyone that is related to the depression. That is common for the anxiety.
Sir, suicidal attempts.
So you have to think about the depression. What is the definition of depression? Then you have to follow the ICD-10 or DSM, that is Diagnostic of Statistical Manual. DSM, what is the latest version of DSM? You have to study. Kavita, have you written?
Yes, sir.
Please tell me.
I have little energy to do any work. I feel helplessness. I cannot sleep at night. I am feeling tired whole day.
Whatever you have written,
Yes.
that means whether these items are common for the anxiety. In case of the depression, what will be the common factor? What will be the distinguished factor? So that we can say it is only one item is there, I feel helplessness. That is the depression. And if you write down, I feel meaninglessness in life, that is the depression. I often cry.
Sir, how can I distinguish between anxiety and depression, sir?
For that reason, you have to study the ICD, that is International Classification of Diseases. And the DSM. There you can find out the standard definition of depression. It is the depressive disorder. Understand my point?
Yes, sir. Sir, after reading the depressive behavior from the DSM-4, then we collect from the item for that definition.
Yes, in that you have to follow the ICD-10. In ICD-10, it is written major depressive disorder. F32.9. So you have to follow that particular things.
Excuse me, sir. I have one query.
Yes, please tell me.
Sir, actually, there is a three components also. When I came to know some, like I heard these things, there's a hopelessness and helplessness. Another one is the component is there where we have
Uh,
seen these important components: hopelessness, helplessness, and another one components. Generally, we find those who
guilt
are,
feeling, guilt feeling,
yes,
guilt feeling. Another things, feelings of grief, melancholic feelings, feelings of sadness and despair. So you have to follow the ICD 10 or DSM 6.
so 6 is coming. I think we are using the still 5 DSM-5. I think so.
I think 6 is there. Okay, if it is not there, you can think about the 5.
No, I'm not sure whether it is 6 is coming because I'm not sure, sir. Once I have to check it out.
Yeah, the one point is sadness, loss of interest, change in weight, difficulty sleeping or oversleeping, energy loss, feeling of worthlessness, thoughts of death or suicide. So these are the common. So whenever you want to construct the scale for any clinical classified disease, then you have to follow the ICD-10 or DSM-5. Okay. And you have to add the item in such a manner so that it should not be overlapped with other. So now I am showing you this is the ICD-10 data. So here you can find out the clinical information. And after that, these are the characteristics: sadness, loss of interest, change in weight, difficulty sleeping, oversleeping, energy loss, feeling of worthlessness, thoughts of death or suicide. Because in case of the anxiety, suicidal tendency will not be there, or thoughts of death, that will not be there. Sleeping problem will be there. Feeling of worthlessness will be not there. They will not think, that is, I am worthless. loss of interest or pleasure in activities, that will not be there. So you have to design your questionnaire in such a manner so that it should not be overlapped with other psychiatric disorder. This is the important for applied psychometrics. Now I am requesting Farah to present the BDI, that is Vague Depression Inventory.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Or school attitude, sir? First, school attitude or BDI, sir?
BDI.
BDI.
Now please follow the instruction and the item. Baba. Yeah, it is the Vague Depression Inventory developed by Aaron Peck, Steer, and Brown. Psychological Corporation, 1996, time to administer 5 to 10 minutes. Purpose and nature of the test, individual or group, to assess the existence and severity symptoms of depression, not to diagnose. So it is not for diagnosis, but to understand the level of severity. Population, adults and adolescents 13 years of age and older. Population for which designated, it is intended to assess the severity of depression in psychiatrically diagnosed patients. Nature of content, verbal with numerical score for each question. So 21 questions are there. Types of items. Clients choose statements to describe themselves in terms of the following 21 areas. So these are the areas of depression: sadness, pessimism, past failure, loss of pleasure, guilty feelings, punishment feelings, self-dislike, self-criticalness, suicidal thoughts or wishes, crying, agitation, loss of interest, indecisiveness, worthlessness, loss of energy, changes in sleep pattern, irritability, changes in appetite, concentration difficulty, tiredness or fatigue, and loss of interest in sex. Here, please you keep in mind that there are some symptoms that is common in case of the anxiety. For example, sleeping pattern change that happens in case of the anxiety, irritability that is very high in case of anxiety, concentration difficulty that is also high in case of the anxiety. Okay. Practical evaluation, qualitative features, BDI addresses the major components of clinical depression, both the psychological and physiological symptoms, and it certainly is portable. Ease of administration, instructions are straightforward and clearly stated. It is also very user-friendly in terms of ease and speed of administration. So these parts are very, very important. That is whether your questionnaire will take more time or not. Time is the factor, and whether it is easy to understand the statement or not. Now, BDI is measuring the intensity. So 0 to 13, minimal depression, 14 to 19, mild depression, 20 to 28, moderate depression, 29 to 63, severe depression. reliability, 1 week test-retest correlation of 0.93 resulted from a study of 26 outpatients who had been referred for depression and took the VDI2 during their first and second therapy sessions. You always keep in mind that is when it is the any psychiatric test, okay, specifically for the measurement of psychiatric behavior, you have to assess the test-retest reliability, whether the test-retest reliability is high or not. Why it is important? Because then you can apply for the intervention purpose. Here it is noted that is the test-retest correlation 0.93 for 26 outpatients who had been referred for depression. Now the validity. One of the main objectives of this new version of the BDI was to have it conform more closely to the diagnostic criteria for depression listed on the DSM-4. It has demonstrated strong evidence of convergent validity with the Hamilton Psychiatric Rating Scale for depression. So there is another scale that is called the Hamilton Psychiatric Rating Scale for depression. And this particular scale is correlated with that particular scale. So it is 0.71. That means there is a high convergent validity. Now this is the BDI. So make it
So can I read? You can read, sir.
Yeah. This questionnaire consists of 21 groups of statements. So here you can find out sadness, pessimism, past failure, punishment feeling, self-dislike, self-criticalness. So many things are there. Okay. And you will study that is the degree or intensity of each group. For example, sadness, I do not feel sad. So there the intensity is 0. And I am so sad or unhappy that I can't stand it. So it is 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. I feel sad much of the time, that is 1. I am sad all the time, that is 2. So this is the degree of variation. Please read each group of statements carefully and then pick out the one statement in each group that best describes the way you have been feeling during the past 2 weeks, including today. So past 2 weeks, keep in mind. That means very recently, the changes that will be assessed through the BDI. Circle the number beside the statement you have picked. If several statements in the group seem to apply equally well, circle the highest number for that group. Be sure that you do not choose more than one statement for any group, including item 16, changes in sleeping pattern, or item 18, changes in appetite. So now here you can find out the group. So 21 groups are there. Go below. Here it is only 10. So now 21. Particularly for this item, changes in appetite, you will find that is the group is like this. My appetite is somewhat less than usual, or my appetite is somewhat greater than usual. Whether it is 1A or 1B, 2A or 2B, 3A, 3B, this type of differences are there in case of changes in appetite. Another one, sleeping problem is there, where it is earlier. Farah, you just check where is the sleeping. Yeah, here you can find out the sleeping pattern. If it is 1A, then I sleep somewhat more than usual. IB, 1B, I sleep somewhat less than usual. So like that, this is your intensity is there, 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Next, you go below and how to score. Farah.
The scoring part is instructions. Circle the number inside the statement you have picked.
If several statements in the group seem to apply equally well, circle the highest number for that group. Be sure that you do not choose more than one statement for any group, including items 16 and 18. Particularly 16 and 18, what will be the scoring category? You go to the 16.
Yes, sir. There is a power cut, sir. Just give me 1 minute.
Hello, Kavita, have you observed the pattern?
Yes, sir.
Here is the group of items. And you have to select the group. And then you have to select the intensity. That is 0, 1, 2, 3. And the maximum score will be 21 groups are there. So 21 into 3. So maybe 63 will be considered. Just we have to see the total score. Hara will present.
Sir, can I read the scoring, sir? Light is not there. So scoring is each answer is scored on a scale value of 0 to 3 and then combined with all other answers to calculate a total score.
So what is the total score? What is the minimum range and what is the maximum range?
So minimum range is 0 to 13, minimal depression. and several depression range is 29 to 63.
63.
Yes, sir.
So I have told correct. 0 to 13 means minimal. Okay. So Shiv Kumar, is it clear? Why it is 21 to
Sir,
60?
actually, only two categories are there, 0 to 13 and 29 to 63. Only the two categories.
3 categories are there.
What are the
One
others,
is
sir?
the mild, moderate, and severe.
Mild, and what is the moderate, sir? What is the range of moderate?
Farah, can you tell what is the moderate range?
Yes, sir. So moderate range is 20 to 28 and mild range is 14 to 19.
14 to 19.
Yes, sir.
That is the mild.
Yes, sir.
And moderate is 20 to
28, sir.
28.
Yes.
And severe?
So severe is 29 to 63.
29 to 63. Okay, so I think this test is self-assessed, right, Farah?
Yes, sir. Self-administered also, sir.
So Kavita and Shiv Kumar, you both can self-assess this scale so that you can get the total score. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I have one query, sir.
Yes.
You mentioned in the beginning of explaining the manual that we can also administer test. It is a test of individuals and also group test. So how is it suitable in administering the group, sir, in the context of
In the group also you can administer individual and group both, but it is better to follow the individual because the reason is very simple. Some of the items may not be understood by the individual. So there is a high chance for random rating. So if you ask the individual and then if you rate it, then that is better. So this individual can understand that is what type of sleeping problems I have.
yes, sir. That's
Because
the
the
reason.
sleeping problem is very common nowadays. And the appetite also very common nowadays. So you have to find out whether this sleeping problem or the appetite problem, is it severe or not?
Yes,
Therefore,
sir.
it
Even
is better to ask the student.
yes, sir. Even sometimes, even our lifestyle is also causes for poor sleeping. But we should not consider it as a depression.
Yeah, Farah is showing now. This is also 0, 1, 2, 3. These changes in appetite. 1A, 1B, that will be considered as 1. And my appetite is much less than before. My appetite is much greater than usual. This is same. So that will be the 2. I have no appetite at all. I crave food all the time. That will be considered as 3. It's very interesting. Please you follow these changes in appetite. How the intensity is assessed through the items. If it is less than usual, 1A. If it is greater than usual, again that is 1B. And the scoring is 1. So that is the degree. And others are very easy. Others are not very, very difficult. So you can administer it in group or it is the self-assessed.
So there is one paper also. Can I show them, sir?
That is the reliability and validity. You can share the students. I think that is better.
Achha, sir, you don't want to discuss, sir, in this class?
No, because they have understood the reliability and validity part.
Okay, sir. Okay. I'll share this. So, sir, now a school attitude.
Okay, now start school attitude.
So these are the domains, sir.
2 times you have written my name. I do not know what happened.
Sorry, sir, sorry. Let me correct.
Yeah, this is the questionnaire that I have used for assessment of school infrastructure. Earlier one related to the clinical, and this is related to the educational issue. Because sometimes you will find that students are not performing well in the class. The academic achievement is poor. So it is important to find out whether there is any attitudinal problem of the students towards their school or not. So here I have assessed the attitude towards school infrastructure. First, related to the classroom. Does your classroom get cleaned sufficiently every day? Keep in mind that all the questions are interrogative sentence, because these data I have collected from the students of primary education. And they cannot distinguish the rating, that is strongly agree to strongly disagree. Therefore, the answer is yes, no type. So can you sit in your classroom comfortably? So what I have done, initially I have visited some of the schools, the rural schools, and then I observed what is the classroom problem, what is the drinking water problem, what is the toilet problem. And based upon that, I have developed the questions. Next. So this is about the next is the blackboard teaching, book, whether the students are getting enough textbook from the school or not, because these schools are government schools. So the government schools, students are getting the book from the school. Therefore, I added this one. And do the lessons that you take in your classes help you to solve problems of everyday life? So whatever the written in the book, and usually this is taught by the teacher, and whether teachers teaching help students to solve the problems of everyday life or not. Next. So this is about the friend, games, teaching, learning material. Next. Library, cultural program, midday meal, health checkup. All the issues that I have covered. Initially, I visited some of the schools. And I interacted with the students, teachers. So based upon my observation, my interview, I have developed the questionnaire. So this is the socioeconomic status of the students. Next. Now here you can find out the table 3.2. That is, what are the factors? They are highly correlated with the total socioeconomic status score. And here you can find out types of illumination at house. That is highly correlated. It is 0.63. And next one is types of house roof, 0.57. House wall, 0.55. Sources of drinking water, 0.51. Types of toilet at home, 0.54. So these are the variables that are considered for assessment of socioeconomic status quo. And after that, I have collected the secondary data related to the good infrastructure and poor infrastructure school. And then I have noted that is the correct classification between the predicted group, that is good infrastructure, and poor infrastructure is 83%, 82.8. So now there is a correlation matrix. And after that, I have done the principal component analysis. Principal component analysis identified 3 factors. So the first factor is the basic infrastructure. Second is the supportive infrastructure, and third one is the activity level infrastructure. I collected data from 572 students. And after that, I have correlated this with academic achievement test. Academic achievement test by us. So I developed the academic achievement test, and then I correlated academic achievement test with the socioeconomic data. And here you can find out the correlation is very high. Next. Oh, so that is the first one. So I have tested the validity, that is the factorial validity. Okay. And before that, I have done the intercorrelation matrix. So when you want to do principal component analysis, that is the exploratory type of research, you have to show the intercorrelation matrix. And next, you can present these three. And after that, you have to do the validation. Validation means academic achievement test and the school infrastructure attitude. I have done the correlation between the two. So here you can find out the correlation is very high. Okay. Now, students, do you have any question?
Sir, you have done factor analysis, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so the thing is that, sir, and I have to ask one point which I came across, one component in psychology, that is called attitude. You have done for the children. Is there any test for attitude for adolescents and adults, like which is
Yeah, that is
presently?
possible. One can study the adolescent students, but for that reason, rating scale is better. Since I collected data for the children and they are not able to rate, they are not able to make the differences among the ratings. So I have not used the rating scale. I have used the yes, no type question. 0, 1 is the answer.
So my question is that like, do you know any popular like, so this attitude scale was exist, like it is there, but is there any attitude scale to know about our own attitudes, sir? Like, as we have done in the personal affective scale, the same way, do you know any one test which is frequently used in India? Attitude
If you want to
related
study
to
personal attitude, then personal effectiveness scale is better.
okay, sir. It is somewhat
Personal
related to
attitude is
attitude.
different. Here it is the attitude towards the another object. For example, regularly you are using the toothpaste. Suppose you want to find out the attitude towards the toothpaste. Then you have to think in this manner. For any skill development, observation is important. So as a applied psychometrician, when you will face any sort of problem, initially you have to observe carefully. Your observation power, that should be high. Okay.
Sir, why should we do factorial analysis, sir?
Factorial analysis
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
নাকি factor analysis?
না স্যার, আপনি বললেন যে ফ্যাক্টোরিয়াল অ্যানালিসিস ডান দা
Factor analysis. Before factor analysis, you have to find out, that is, whether the variables are correlated with each other or not. If the variables are not correlated with each other, then factor analysis cannot be done.
Sir, here factor means there are three components. That is the factor.
Yeah, these three components that I have explored, basic, supportive, and activity based. So these are the three factors.
Sir, is there any quantifying the when we are doing the factor analysis? So what exact correlation is needed, sir? Like 0.5 above average or like what?
It should be the correlation that should be significant. It is not the 0.5 issue. The correlation that should be significant, because here the number of cases is 572. So 0.20 may be significant. So you have to find out whether the correlation coefficient is significant or not.
Okay, sir.
If you do this analysis, then multicollinearity problem that will be solved. Okay. So please use cell passes the BDI data. Now I am closing the session.